finished?
Yeah, I'm finished though. Just, you know.
All right, cool. Where am I supposed to look? I think I'm supposed to look at the main camera. For
Look at
this
the
one.
main camera in it.
Just for this part, innit?
Are you so wait, hold on. So is this? Are you editing this afterwards because it's not under? You can just talk to that one, but now I know that you're gonna edit it and make it work still. I'm looking at all three cameras at different times.
No, you don't ever look at that. That's my camera, bro. I got you. Your literal own camera, and you look.
You're gonna have to switch.
Oh, that's never happening, bro. I'm gonna just blank out. Every camera is just gonna be audio. Just going to be audio. Welcome to the Two Drums podcast. I'm your host, Robert McIntosh, and this is Nathan Green, our guest and also reoccurring host.
Reoccurring host. Swear down.
Reoccurring. You didn't know until now, did you?
Host is crazy.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
All right, say no.
Here we go.
Who are we hosting?
Who are we hosting? Well, I'm hosting you today.
But who am I going to be hosting?
I didn't think that far. I really didn't think that far. But it doesn't matter, does it?
No. Not today, anyway.
Not today. You're hosting me today because remember, this is a
conversation.
It's a conversation, right?
Yeah. That's cool.
Good. How long have we been thinking about doing this podcast?
Well, I came up with the idea.
You! Sorry. You were saying, yeah.
I don't actually know. It's been a while, isn't it?
It's been a very long time. Plus 6 months.
Oh yeah. I think, but I would say over a year.
Over a year. Yeah.
I would say over a year.
We wanted to do it properly, though, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, we finally came together and we're finally doing it, which I'm really, really happy about. We've had a couple dry runs. One.
This is the one.
Nah, there was that time you were here, man, and we were standing up and talking that time.
Yeah, there was no cameras running though.
Not a single one.
No mics.
Not a single one. But we didn't need it, did we? Because it was, you know.
Nah, yeah. That, to be fair, I forgot about that actually.
That was pretty recent as well.
Yeah.
That's all right. So we wanted to have this podcast because we love drums, some more than others, and we'll get into that, right? Because that's actually a topic of discussion. Am I wrong? We'll get into that now, innit? I like it. All right, cool. So there's that side of things. Also, I've lost my train of thought, and we're only like 2 minutes in.
You're editing this anyway?
I ain't editing nothing. Slapping this thing straight up.
You're editing this? Alright, say no.
Send it to you, fam.
But everyone's seen that you lost your train of thought if you don't edit it out.
And that's part of being a musician, guys.
Losing your train of thought.
All the time. In the middle of a song. In the middle of a song.
Them cloudy moments. Just
Bruh.
before a bridge, and you're thinking, is the bridge coming?
Let's talk about that. When you're playing a song and you know the song, but you're second guessing yourself.
Is it the bridge or is it the breakdown?
Is it the breakdown, bruh?
Or was it a breakdown chorus? I just can't remember right now. And I've got about one bar left. What do? I just shh. You know,
Wash out and everything.
I just wash out on the one and just see what's coming next, and then I continue playing.
Is that why I hear so many drop ones from you? That makes sense, man, because you go 1, 2, 3 to the
Yeah, act like you even hear me play. Wait, hold on.
I don't.
A 4 whole bar. That's crazy as well.
Yeah, because you need to have.
No.
You need to hear what's going on in the rest of the
It
band.
doesn't take me that long.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
How long would it take you then?
To know what else is coming next.
Yeah.
Probably like one beat.
One beat.
Yeah.
That was one beat.
It's
1, 2,
That's
3,
4 beats.
Okay.
You just counted 4 beats.
That is true.
Exactly.
So you need 1, and then you figured it out.
Yeah, because if I hear what's happening next, I just need one cue from someone, from something, and then I'll know what's going on. And then it's like, that's why I say I'll just wash. Because if it's a breakdown, that's gonna work. If it's a bridge, then that might work until I go to the ride or something. Like, you know. And then all I need to hear is either the chord that comes next or the lyrics or whatever. And that's just enough for me to make it through to the next part.
Okay.
Yeah, like you don't know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Bro.
So wait, What's the question? Then? Like you don't know what I mean?
Look, I may know, but what about the viewers? This isn't about us. This is the Do Drums podcast.
Exactly.
Where we explore everything that has to do with drumming.
Fair enough, yeah. But it's do drums. So I'm just assuming if they're tuning in, they do drums.
That is not necessarily true. Maybe
know what?
we are so entertaining that
Do
we will
drums.
have
Yeah?
other musicians
No,
join.
do drums. What's your problem? What is your problem? I'm looking at every camera. Sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, let's get.
I absolutely love it though. This is gonna be amazing. This is gonna be amazing. Oh gosh.
I got a question.
I haven't even done my intro yet. You out here asking about questions. I ain't even done my intro. What do you mean? Because I'm editing it, you're just gonna jump to what you want to do or what you want to say, and you think I'm gonna edit it like that?
But I told you you're editing this thing.
You better find somebody on Fiverr and get them to edit it.
Ooh, we're gonna pay them, yeah. They're gonna email you saying, "Big man,
Come here.
they're gonna
Go to the podcast.
they're gonna take one look at this and say, "What do you want me to do?"
Funny, bro. Funny.
Nah.
What's the question that you wanted to ask?
I
I just might do my
No.
intro at the end. Because
Yeah, and then just
you
cut
wanna
it and
get
then pull it at the beginning.
Yeah, go on.
No, my question here was, where did you come up with do drums? Because you came up with that.
So Do Drums is my YouTube channel. Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah.
Do Drums is my YouTube channel. So I wanted just a name that would be simple enough for people to remember. 2 syllables is great, right? So, it's Do Drums. So how did I come up with it? It's not the first name that I came up with.
Give us another name. If it's whack, I'll let you know.
What were other names?
Don't go blank now, bro. You got the list right there.
You know what? I don't think I wrote them down.
Yeah, you did. I can see it right there.
And you know how this Do Drums came, which is even weirder? I wasn't even thinking about it.
Swear?
And sometimes those great moments of inspiration, that's just how they happen, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But when I was actually thinking about a YouTube name, I couldn't really think of anything that I thought, yeah, this is perfect and this will work. But I was just randomly about my normal day's business as a full-time musician. And yeah, it just randomly came, Do Drums. So
That
I think
makes sense.
there's a lot of different, there's a lot of like drum channels out there, right? I want it to be specific enough to be like, this is what we're doing. You know what I mean? We can branch out and do other things, of course, but this is the Do Drums podcast.
That's interesting. And like, it's more interesting the fact that you don't just do drums.
I don't.
So, give an insight into why do drums. You have kind of, but you could have called it something else that's more all-encompassing in terms of music.
Because I wanted it to be really focused on drums.
Okay.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yes, there will be other focuses in being a musician. You have to do a whole load of other things, right? You're a marketer. You're doing the edits. You're doing the recording. Might as well be a software engineer the way that the world's going, right? But you have to do a lot of different things. But this podcast, I wanted to specifically be about talking about drums. So, for instance, I want to talk about tuning drums. I wanted to talk about cymbals. I wanted to talk about placement of drum kit. I wanted to talk about some outlandish questions like, what do you do and you turn up to a gig and, you left your drum store or, something random
Snare
like that.
stand.
Or you leave your snare stand. It happens, but are you going to panic or are you going to come up with a solution? Yeah. So that's what I wanted. Those are the sort of things I wanted to talk about.
Makes sense.
Did that answer your question?
No, it does. It does.
All right,
It does.
perfect. So let me see if I can do my intro now.
Sorry. My bad.
You good, bro? You good? So, since this is beautiful. I actually really enjoy this. I think since we've known each other for a very, very long time. I wouldn't say very, very long time, but since 2016, 17, I believe, because I started uni 2015.
That's almost like
That's a lot, man.
8-9 years now, though.
It's a long time, man. It's a long
Literally.
time. And we've been consistent ever since, to be honest. I would say.
Yeah, to be fair.
Few seasons and non-seasons, but seasons nonetheless. And we've spoken about drums at length for hours.
Yeah.
I would have thought, this would be great for other people to hear our insights and things we learned along the way. And, we don't give advice at all.
Yeah.
We will never say, you need to do this because you will get this result.
Facts.
It's going to be more of, let's have an open discussion about how you do things or how I do things and, our experiences. Yeah.
Sure.
All right, cool. The opinions.
Sorry. I didn't know what was coming up next. As soon as I heard opinions, cracked me up.
You knew exactly where I was going. This is a formal disclaimer that the opinions and our thoughts are of our own and do not belong to any entity, businesses, house of worship where we belong. These are solely our facts.
Facts. No.
This is our truth.
No, it's our opinions, guys. It's our opinions. Whatever he says is not mine either. Just to, give some clarity on that. Because I don't know what you're going to say, bro.
I am tired.
But that's not going in there, is it?
That's gonna be the first thing that people see. You want clickbait? That's gonna be right there.
I don't even know what you're talking
And
about.
tag a man too. Nathan, how did you get into drums?
Why? Do you want me to go from the beginning or
From the womb, bro.
from the womb?
From the womb.
Well, apparently my mum was playing music, whilst I was, in the womb. Yeah, like Fred Hammond, gospel, different genres of music, and then, when I was young, like 2, 3, then I think they got me like one of those, like Argus drum kits, because I would just be like hitting things all the time, and then they got me that, and then I would be playing that, broke that.
Of course.
Broke that.
They're not built to last.
Yeah, no, they're not built to last. Especially the way I was hitting as well. And then I think I actually got a Mapex kit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got a Mapex kit. I think I was 6 or something like that.
Oh.
That was my first like proper kit.
Wow.
No, actually before that they had like proper kits, but it was like imagine like a cocktail kit, but it was for children.
I get what you mean.
And then that got mashed up as well. And then I got a Mapex kit at 6.
Wow.
And then I think I was like having like lessons on and off. And then eventually I was able to like start playing at church. Because before then I would play at church, but I didn't have timing still. My tempos were up and down. My tempos was too up and down at that point. And the thing is, it's annoying because I hear 6-year-olds today.
Oh, yeah. They're
And
smacking.
they're solid. They can barely reach the pedal, but they're under one all the time.
Them man are slapping. If we talk about the American guys, they're slapping on that MPC from the very beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is.
Whereas I didn't have that at church. And the thing is, I think like my first experiences, even though you didn't ask me that, but my first experiences of drummers was just
We'll get in there. You dropped the gun.
those that were like really close to me, like my cousins, etc. And they don't really play too much anymore.
Okay.
but they were like my main inspirations at the time. So obviously I just gravitated to drums. And my dad also had like a gospel group.
So yeah.
Yeah, so there was just musicians, and they used to rehearse. We had a studio in the garage or the garden or whatever. So they used to rehearse at the house. I was just there. So I just gravitated towards music and towards the drums. And
Wow.
then yeah, I slowly got good enough to play in church because the drummer wasn't. Well, my cousin was the drummer, and I think either he wasn't there or the keys player wasn't there, so he had to move the keys, and they just needed me at that point. And I thought, oh, so you need me now? You're not worried about my tempos now, are you? And then, yeah.
You
I
said
think,
by then it got better, right?
yeah, it got better then.
Like this much.
No, it was better then. Still, it got better then. And then yeah, I was just playing like week to week, and then yeah, that's pretty much how it started.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's sick.
and then eventually I started doing like my grades
Okay.
outside of, obviously in like drum lessons and stuff like that outside of school, and then yeah, just went on from there.
So what age did you do drum grades?
I don't even remember. Like I was definitely in secondary school,
Okay.
but I really didn't want to do it. I remember I hated it. I hated it.
Okay.
But yeah, it didn't take me long to get my drum grades, and we skipped. So I think I did grade 1 because that was like an introduction into reading.
Of course.
Then I did grade 2. Then I did 4, 6, and 8.
Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
And by 6, it was just kind of like you just learn the stuff in it. You just learn. Like I wasn't even really reading it. Like I knew how to read at the point, but I wasn't reading it anymore. Like anyone could buy the books, and they had the CD, and you could hear the drums. So I was just learning the songs like normal songs, and then by the time the actual test came around, I was just looking at the paper, but I had internalized the music.
So would you say that has benefited you going forward? So now I can call you for a gig,
Yeah.
a reading gig, and you just be able to read straight off.
Why are you asking me this question? I feel like your question has. You're asking me the question on purpose,
This is
based upon conversations that we've had. But to answer your question, it has benefited me because there has been certain scenarios where I've had to cover someone, and they've thrown me the charts, and I've been able to just follow along.
okay.
And yeah, and just be able to like get through. Like I think it was like when I was younger, I think I had to. It was like a Whitney Houston tribute thing, and
And I, yeah.
exactly. You want to say more?
No,
Okay.
I'm surprised I hit that note. To be honest,
That was you hitting the note.
I know, right? Weren't really that. This is why I play drums. Do drums.
Anyway, yeah, I think it was like a Whitney Houston thing, but the drummer couldn't make the rehearsal, and so like I got asked. I think I was in uni, and then someone hit me up like, "Are you available tonight? Can you just cover a rehearsal type thing?" And I was like, "I can, but I don't really know." Because it's like you know the main songs, but all the other songs that are gonna come up, I don't know them. But they were like, "Oh, they got the charts," so I thought, "All right." And then, but yeah, I was surprised because I was able to get through the rehearsal as well as I could with reading the charts, and it was actually a good challenge. And also it's helped me be able to like create my own charts for gigs, and there's like a way that I do things that makes sense to me, and I can actually like chart out like a drum groove to remind me of what's going on in a song. So it has helped me in a lot of different ways, but I haven't done like a solely reading gig. So
Yet.
yeah,
They should call you for such things.
they should, and if they did, it would be very good. Yeah, it would be very good. So if anyone's out there and need a reader for a gig, then shout me.
Nathan Green, everybody.
Can you read?
I can actually, and I've had a few students in the last 2 years, and I have got them through their grades.
Is it what grades?
Grade 3 was the highest.
Jeez, fair enough.
And then the other student I had was grade 1. And it was really good. They both got distinctions, actually.
Oh, yeah.
So I was very pleased and happy with that, because I'm a hard draw master. Sight reading is very
Sight
important.
reading, that's what I need to work on. That's why I was like, if someone called me for a gig, I'd be able to do it. Because I believe in my ability to learn the song, and then you're giving me the dots with it, then I'd
Marries together quite well.
Yeah. I'd be able to do it. But if someone was to call me, say like, oh, we got a gig tonight, we've got the charts, and it's 40 of them, yeah, no.
Good.
You're gonna have to call someone else. At the moment,
Call Rob.
but yeah, I'll give them your numbers though. I'd give them your. I say, listen, I got the guy for you.
So who gave you my number? Nathan. Yeah, that's cool. All right. Thank you for letting me know.
Would you
I'm
take
not
the gig?
I'm not available for night, but thank you for letting me know who passed on my details. I'll be sure to thank him promptly.
Thank me, bro. But you know what? We had this conversation the other day. But my goal is to work on my sight reading, so that someone could call me or something like that.
I agree. I think it's very important, and I think it just gives you a lot of different opportunities that you probably wouldn't necessarily get, because there are, for me, it's about being able to do a lot of things, and a lot of things quite well. And I think that does open up a certain door to be like, because then you can do certain recording sessions. It's just like, we've already written out the part, we just want you to play it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And get it round done quickly. And of course, you can listen to it. Nothing wrong with that, and just learn it that way. But strings to your bow.
Yeah.
It's easier.
Yeah.
Who are your first influences?
I think I said it before. My first influences was like
Professional drummers. Somewhat.
okay.
We can marry the both, because you did say cousins, but I also want to hear about the guys
Professional.
that world class.
It has to be like Calvin Rogers, because obviously I was listening to Fred Hammond from young. Like Calvin Rogers. I'm trying to think, like, what else was I listening to, and who would the drummers be? I was listening to a lot of Tony Royster.
No,
A lot of Tony Royster.
Yeah. When YouTube came along, innit?
Bruv.
We were on
As
that.
a teenager.
Thank you, Gospel Chaps.
To the point where, I'm pretty sure, like, one of my friends later on was like, yeah, you used to even sit like him. I said, nah, I need nah, that's crazy. Yeah, because his posture's crazy.
Yeah. He's about it still.
His posture's crazy. But yeah, I used to even sit like him. But yeah, Calvin, Tony Royster, and then there would definitely be a lot more. I can't think of, because I used to listen to a lot of artists, like a lot of music.
Okay.
So I just can't think of who, and then I'd be able to remember the drummers. But along from there, like, as I got into like 18, 19, 20, 21, Rex Hardy. I'd be listening to Rex all the time.
Feel is immense, isn't it?
Yeah. And to be fair, because he used to do a lot of vlogs and those type of things. So it wasn't even just his playing, but it was just
the accessibility in a way.
Yeah. And then there was like, there's UK guys like Donovan Hepburn. Like I would be listening to there's one Gary Barlow concert, O2, bruv. I listened to that so many times.
Really?
Yes, because and I say this to him, and I say it to anyone, like, there's just a different type of maturity that he has when he's playing. Like, even just the way that he's hitting the skins is just different, and it makes the drums and the drums that he's playing and the way they're tuned are very authentic to to the music that he's playing anyway. But even just the way that he's hitting it, it just gives me a different feeling. And it's like, that to me is one of the biggest influences in terms of wanting to be able to just be as versatile as possible and be authentic with it. So definitely him. I'm trying to think. Matty Brown as well. It's the same thing because like I feel like his approach is like different to a lot of people. So and just keeping up with like how he's kind of grown. That's been a big influence. And then when I started hearing about Dexter Hercules as well, he's a big one. He was a big one. And you know what? It's funny because now I'm just remembering names. We could keep going on, you know. We can keep going on. Bro. John Blackwell. Bro.
Wow.
Yo.
I ain't heard that name in a while,
John
you know.
Blackwell when I was about 16, 17.
Boss,
And the reason why I remembered that after saying Dexter is because of the open close. Bro.
That switch thing.
When I saw John Blackwell do...
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah, it's mad.
I can't lie. And the thing is, because when I started playing drums, I started playing left-handed.
Okay.
And then...
Open-handed.
Yeah, open-handed, yeah.
Left-handed, you're right.
But when I got to my drum teacher now, he... I don't know why, but he switched me over to play this way. But it was I never lost the ability. Like, I think my left hand suffered a bit, but if I needed to play like this or like this, I still could. So when I was seeing John Blackwell now, I was like, oh, swear. So I started playing a lot like this, but just incorporating it into how I would normally play, like this. And then when I saw Dexter, and he just plays free, because he plays open-handed, but when he's on the ride, he still plays like this, instead of like this. So I'll be seeing man playing, and he'll just be on a, like, and he just looks very comfortable.
100%.
Whereas like sometimes we might be playing around the kit, and then depending on where I'm landing, I'm hitting a crash over here like this, and then now I'm just, everything's cooked. Yeah, everything.
You gotta go this way, bruh.
Looking like I'm swimming. You know what I mean? Looking like I'm
You need to get a snare over here. That's what you need to do, bro. And just carry on.
That's not my thing. But yeah.
It's funny you have the. It's funny your experience with playing open-handed.
Yeah.
Because I started off the same way.
Oh, swear.
I started off open-handed, and it was a teacher in secondary school actually that told me. He was actually kind of raw with it, to be honest. He was just like, if you don't cross your arms, I'm not teaching you how to play drums.
Swear down.
Raw like that. I remember it to this day, bro. I came back next week and didn't say nothing, but I already crossed my arms. You know what I mean?
Madness.
I know, right? Which isn't the best, because what he really should have said is that, look, eventually you're going to need to cross over your arms because there's more accessibility technically this way. Yeah?
But how? There's not? You're playing with your arms crossed already, bro. Like,
the positioning of, so if your hi-hat is a little bit on the higher side, yeah?
yeah.
It's got to be more easier for you to cross over because your arm is already high and then you got your snare underneath, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, if your snare's a little bit lower.
I understand what you mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Just in terms of...
If they're kind of at the same height, like, I say same height, but if they're really, really close, like, what's the drummer's name now? Dennis Chambers.
Oh, yeah.
My man's hi-hat is on the floor, right? That'd be very dramatic. But his hi-hat is kind of low, yeah? From what I've seen anyway, from like In the Pocket DVD, right? Sick.
Oh, yeah.
Sick DVD. Or Serious Moves is the part 2 as well. But it's so you can kind of open-handed and closed-handed quite comfortably.
Yeah.
So I can kind of justify it in that way, maybe.
Yeah.
But,
I don't really see it though, because
yeah,
in my opinion, it's like the way that we set up our kit now is because we're playing this way. Because if we were playing this way, then it might be a little bit different. But I just feel like if I'm already if I'm playing open-handed, there's just nothing in my way. I can do what I want. If I have the ability to do this and do this, then I can ride with my right hand, like how Dexter does. When you see him play, it's like nothing's in his way. If we're already starting like this, we've got, like, it might seem a bit lazy, but to do some type of roll or chop, I've already got to
Come over.
and be open-handed. To then, unless I'm doing one of these ones or something.
You know them US guys.
You know what I mean? But
I hear exactly what you're saying.
I just feel like it's a bit more open and free. But in my opinion,
No. I think you're exactly right, and I think you brought up some important points there. I think it's good to be ambidextrous, right? I mean, that's the word. It's good to do both ways. So at the same time, I'm almost kind of glad he was just like, look, maybe you should consider it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of harsh to say to him, I ain't gonna teach you. That's kind of raw still.
So I'm not gonna teach you if you don't crush your hands.
And lessons are done. Go home. They're free as well.
That is P.
You know what I mean? Anyway.
That is P.
But it's good that I learned to do that because I probably wouldn't have.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I stopped using open-handed, which isn't the best. I still got it within me.
Yeah.
But as you said, it's not
as
fluent as it would as it was, because I remember I used to have this. My first ever crash was I feel like it was a 16 Paiste. That's how they call it, Paiste. And I think it was a 101 symbol. I think they call it. So it's this like very cheap crash, and it used to have a big bell on it. It was either a 16 or it was an 18. I remember the bow being very, very big on it, and I remember kind of riding on the bow. Because at that time, I think I just had a hi-hat, a splash, and a crash ride. That's what it was. It was a crash ride.
Yeah.
So like...
You had it open.
Yeah. So every time, like say I was playing a ballad or like, playing in church, where you would just come over on your left-hand side, you would end up playing like this. So it kind of enforced that open-handed playing.
For sure.
Until I got that ride symbol.
And then
I kind of switched over a little bit more. But yeah, I've noticed drummers that can do both, wicked. And I think it's a great exercise to have, because sometimes we forget about that left side of when we're playing. I remember same drum teacher was just like, your left foot doesn't do anything. Oh, he was raw, man, raw. To be honest, I'm being dramatic in the way of saying it. But for me to be I was in year 7, year 8, year 9-ish, hearing this from your teachers kind of, like, oh, okay.
Yeah, kind of hurting it. It pierced you, innit?
Big man. The fact that I remember it now, I'm turning 30 this year, big man.
You think about it sometimes.
Listen, you don't want to catch me now.
No, I hear it still.
But, like literally, but he was just like, your left foot doesn't do anything. So he was kind of taught me to like, keep your timing a little bit with like maybe the drum fill, or that's kind of how I learned to incorporate those sort of things.
I had the same type of thing with my drum teacher as well. And then that's when you get into like, like stepping on the offbeats and stuff like that.
Coordination is extremely possible. It's extremely important.
Yeah.
I think we're getting into some topics here, which I was going to keep for another. No, you know what? It's calm. I was going to keep it for a next episode, but if today's the day, just let it flow.
Nah, keep it for the next episode still. Keep it.
Okay.
Keep it.
Let's go.
But I do understand. But that's where it came from anyway. John Blackwell, and it just reminded me when I said Dexter Hercules, because I think I was listening to an interview podcasting where he said that he kind of got a lot of influence because he would play the open-handed. He got influence from John Blackwell, and I used to listen to John Blackwell a lot at one point.
Okay.
But yeah, and then, like now, I would say, my favorite drummer, Stanley Randolph. That's my favorite drummer at the moment.
Okay. What is it about him specifically at this moment in time that kind of tuned you in? And the reason why I ask you that is because we live in the social media world where it feels like there's a billion drummers.
Yeah, yeah.
So individuality
Yeah,
is extremely important now. So
100%.
us being kind of getting closer to the 30, we're thinking a little bit different.
You didn't need to throw that in there still.
Man, them need to know.
No, they didn't need to know that stuff.
So now, I turned 30 this year.
Yes, Pete.
How many years you got?
Don't worry about how many years I've got. All right. Don't worry about that.
So what I will say is the things that used to inspire us from before may be a little bit different now.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So why specifically Stanley Randolph?
Exactly what you said. Like, he's definitely got his sound, and he's definitely like an individual in terms of how he plays drums. And it's not even the fact that he can't do what everyone else does, because he can. He hit it very well.
Don't play with him.
But he's just got a feel about him, and it's like when he plays, it's like he can just do whatever he wants, you know. And then and a lot of the things that he does is for the music, and that's why I like even now, like, I like Rex and some of the drummers that inspire me now is because they play very much to the music, and that's like my style. Like, I have certain times where I like to hear people chop in and stuff like that, but if I'm talking about like what I'm really into is like those drummers that they know how to serve the music and put their influence into the music that doesn't take away from the music or the song itself.
Getting into another topic there.
No, my bad.
No, it's good.
But that's why I like him. And just like he can play something that's like so simple, but it just sounds good. Yeah. It just sounds very funky. It's the same with Rex. Like, Rex can play a groove that can literally just be like, and you can listen to a whole clip of him just playing that, and it will just be amazing. And he might just do like a splash here and there, or like an open hat or whatever, and it's just in the right place. You know what I mean? And I like that. I like drummers as well that, obviously, I like drummers that are diverse and that have versatility, but I love it when drummers just know their thing and they stick to their thing.
Interesting.
That's what I love. And it's like, because it's like outside influences aren't influencing them.
Yep.
So they know, like this is my bag, and this is what I'm doing, and this is where I'm staying, right here. Like, I don't need to play like these people to serve this music. I can play like me, and I'm gonna do that. And that's what I like that.
There's a massive confidence within you in order to do that.
100%.
And I don't think it even necessarily comes from a place of boasting, but it's more of a trying to think of the word now. It goes beyond confidence, but let's just say confidence. You know? There's a certain confidence knowing that this is how I play drums.
Oh yeah.
I like the way I play drums. Not everybody's going to like it.
Yeah.
Aaron Spears, when he was alive, he would say, you know, not everybody's going to like the way you play.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of people that are just like, I don't like the way he plays. He does this too much, or you know what I mean? But there is going to be a whole different camp out there that's just like, this is incredible.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? And that's a two-sided coin, which we'll get into another topic in that. But the points that I'm trying to draw on is that doesn't mean that we're not listening to what other people say, in the sense of, you know, if the MD is saying, look, listen, we need you to do this.
Yeah.
Then you want to still deliver, and you still want to listen to the MD in that way, and not say, well, no, I know how to play drums, so I must do my thing.
Yeah.
But you don't want to take away so much that it's just like, it's not you playing anymore. It could be anybody.
Yeah.
Because at that point, the gig becomes a different gig than for you, right?
Yeah, because it's funny because, like, even, like, some of the gigs that I do now, I've felt like that in terms of, like, I even said it to them. I was like, to be fair, you could just have anyone play drums. You could have anybody play drums. Like, it really doesn't matter whether it's me or whether it's somebody else. And their thing was, like, what it does, because your sound kind of makes this now because you've been doing it. And I was like, yeah, but nobody else cares. Nobody cares. But to your point, it is true. Like, even if someone wants you to play a certain way, being an individual matters. And more than likely, people are not just calling you because they could just call anyone and just happen to stumble on you. They're calling you because there's something about you that they like. They just want you to play a certain way. Not taking away how you play, but you know what I mean? Like, there's sometimes you have to play certain parts and stuff like that. But you can play parts the way you play, you know what I mean? And you can definitely serve the music as an individual.
Let's dive into that a little bit more. Let's give an example, okay?
Oh, yeah.
So, for instance, you're on a gig and they want you to play extremely hard.
Yeah.
Like, extremely hard.
Yeah.
Now, you know there's only so hard you can probably play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just like, no, we want more. Sometimes it can be lost in communication, because sometimes what they're saying is actually we want more energy.
Yeah.
Instead of loudness.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, believe it or not, with the musicians that we're working with sometimes, not everybody has the vernacular, right? Not everybody knows that actually what you're asking for is...
For sure, yeah.
More arms.
Yeah.
More smiles, more
Yeah.
fidazzle. We want you to make a show out of this. They're just like, oh, that equates to loudness.
Yeah.
If he's hitting it a little bit louder, you know what I mean? Then that will equate to that. And...
no, it's true. Because obviously you know how I play in it.
I know how you play.
So there's certain times where, quite literally, I'm playing how I play, and people like, depending on the time and the type of gig, oh, you're hitting too hard. They're just seeing me though, and as opposed to actually hearing how loud it is.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll play the exact same, just with less expression, and it's like, oh yeah, calm. You know what I mean? So it's like,
your face was loud, bro.
yeah, or like, because I like to play with expression sometimes. So my arms will be swinging. I know, like a showy thing.
Of course.
You know what I mean? It's what happens. Some people play differently, but sometimes if I'm enjoying myself, you'll know. You know what I mean? So, but sometimes that can make people think like, oh, he's going in, but I'm actually not, because I can play like that and not have to swing my arms. You know what I mean? So sometimes you just take away the swinging of the arms, I can play with the same velocity, and you just think, oh, he's playing quieter now. But sometimes it just depends on like who it is. Like, some people don't really know, they're not musicians, so they just see someone, and that's it is what it is. I think about like guitarists, like if they're naturally like going in for something, sometimes if they're depending on what they're doing, it could feel like it's louder, but it might not necessarily be louder than what they were doing before.
No, bro, guitarists are out here turning up their amps to 10, bro. You know what I mean? And then after sound check, it's at 11.
It's at 11.
And then after that, you bust it. You don't even have a 12, but you're turning it up to 12.
Turning up your amp is crazy, by the way. Turning up your amp is crazy.
No, let's talk about keyboardists.
This is, you know what? This is new drums, though. This is new drums. This is do drums, but yeah, nah, I totally hear you.
Stanley Randolph is funny. I was first introduced to Stanley Randolph. I'm going to talk about Calvin actually as well.
Oh, yeah.
Further. But I was introduced to Stanley Randolph through
Me, bruv.
Stevie Wonder. It went
Nah,
through
it was
big
through
man.
me, bruv.
Bruv, I knew Stanley
introduced
before
you still.
way before you.
I'm joking.
Way before you, big man. No,
Yeah, Stevie. Yeah.
Stevie, and I watched him. It was the DVD live in London, right? Stevie Wonder, phenomenal.
Was it
band.
outside?
No, it was an inside concert
okay.
at this time. It's a live recording he did. And it was just, and at this time, to be honest, it was only clips on YouTube. Like a lot of my music experiences as a teenager and below was YouTube or what I could get access to. And it wasn't a lot. It was a few things. And we listened intently. Then that's a whole different conversation, actually. That was a whole different conversation. But with the small that we had, we listened to it and repeat, and we dissected it. So there was a solo in Spain. To this day,
Stanley
bro.
did?
Stanley.
Okay.
One of, if not the best solos I've ever heard.
His solo was crazy.
It was crazy.
'Cause it's musical.
So musical. He was going for it. He had a percussionist as well.
Oh, yeah.
The whole of the band dropped out.
Yeah.
It was just him, and it was just, and the way that he tuned the drums as well. And he was coming from gospel, heavy gospel background. I was watching an interview with Stanley, and he was saying that Stevie Wonder literally picked him up from church, if I can remember the story right, though. But
That's not the story went, but it's alright.
that's how the story went,
No,
right? He was just like, "What are you? Do you want to come on tour?" He was like,
went to his
literally heard him
studio
in
still.
the studio, Stanley's studio.
No, he went to Stevie's studio.
Is it?
Yeah.
I heard he picked him up in church.
Nah, you got swindled still. I'll send you the interview. I listened to it last
I'm
week.
gonna send you the interview.
No.
Really?
Yeah. He went to his studio. I think he said that. Obviously, I don't know who it was, but someone took him down to Stevie's studio, but he didn't know that it was Stevie's studio, so he just thought he was there just for like another session or whatever it was. And then Stevie came through the doors, and he was like, "Rah," took him through to into the thing, and then they were jamming. I think they said he was jamming in giant steps or something mad for about half an hour. And then they, literally for half an hour, and then he was like, when they finished, he was like, "Yeah, man, you got the gig. We go on tour in 2 weeks." Gave him an iPod with like 100 or 200 songs on there, and he had to learn as much as he could. I think he said he didn't have it all down, but by the end of the tour, he had it down. So it was literally like that, just full on madness.
Them man are different, though, isn't it?
Them man are different, to be fair, but
Cut from a different cloth. That's what them man would say.
well, they're cut from a different cloth to me, yeah. But there's man over here that could do the same thing.
1,000%.
I think.
1,000%.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's only certain things you can learn by just being on it.
Yeah.
Completely different story. But I remember the first time ever doing, like, for me, was a function gig. And this is like, I'm coming from like learning 1 or 2 songs, you know what I mean, and having them kind of down, making improv, you know what I mean. I learned a bit.
Yeah.
But then now it's just like, no, there's like 25, 30 songs.
Yeah.
Stressing, like, because I'm like, I want to do well, I want to be called back again. But sometimes there's no other way of learning it but by doing it. Somebody had to give me the chance to be like, you know what?
Yeah.
I believe that, you know, he's pretty decent and he's young and he's growing and I can see something in him. Let me give him an opportunity, and I did it decently enough for me to get called back and still be called back now from that same person.
Yeah.
So
Me?
you ain't you, bro. You know MD, bro. Why would you call me for a drum gig, bro? You good?
Why would I call you for a drum gig?
Okay, so what I meant by that,
What?
what I meant was,
Didn't you cover me last week?
I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I don't know what you. Isn't it a blessing to have surplus gigs?
I wouldn't know about that still. I wouldn't know about that.
Oh, you know about it. But it's actually funny enough. You said something earlier about You good?
I almost got cancelled. I ain't gonna lie. I almost got cancelled.
what were
I
you
was about
going
to say something.
Learning a lot of songs in a short amount of time, you have to have a some sort of structure. Some people, you know what? There's so many different, because there's different type of learners, right?
Yeah.
Kinesthetic, auditory, and visual, right?
I'm not gonna lie to you. Other than visual, I don't know what they are.
So the kinesthetic is
Yeah.
physically doing, right?
Okay.
The audio is
Yes,
listening,
yeah.
and the visual is
Seeing,
seeing, right?
Okay.
So
you have
those
to
are
come
the
with
three main.
the proper terms. Alright, say nothing.
We have degrees.
I got the same degrees still.
Yeah, but I also have the.
You got the masters as well.
I didn't want to say it.
Say nothing.
Some of us went back for more, bro.
That must be what you learnt in the masters then.
No,
I didn't learn that.
I learned this in secondary school, bro. They weren't teaching this. What's going on?
What did you do GCSE?
Beat it.
I didn't do GCSE, man.
Listen,
I got cooked.
GCSE is a new juke.
GCSE music.
Yeah, it's cooked for every man still.
Anyway.
Not about it.
But yeah, but the songs in a short space of time.
You have to have some sort of methodology to do it. Some sort of method. So my college tutor, to be honest, and it's the method I still use to this day, bar from writing out
Neil?
music. No, college. So
Did you go
Neil
college?
is university. I went to Howzone College.
Yeah.
No?
Nah, we don't want to hear about no Howzone College stuff.
Why? Why do we do it?
Don't worry about them.
What do you know about Howzone College?
I don't know nothing about them.
Exactly. So put some respect on their name.
Nah, who came out of there, bro? You.
Me? That's enough.
Say nothing.
That's you watch.
Say nothing.
You're gonna call me back.
Why did
with
he
open
teach you
arms,
that?
bro.
My college ain't calling you back, Jack.
The drum tutor there, his name escapes me at the moment, but I will put it in there at some point. But really good drum tutor. He we didn't have private lessons, but he taught band in a way. You call it band, right? And he was just like, he pulled me aside, pulled us a few of the drummers aside actually, and just like, look, sometimes you need to use certain methods, right? And this is a visual method.
Oh, yeah.
So he taught us how to count bars basically, and some people call it the natural number system, which that's fine. I've seen so many different versions, and it's just what works for you, right? But this was just really simple and basic. I've seen half kind of natural numbers system with half kind of normal music notation where you've got certain bars, but then it's like, okay, it's 8 bars of this and then it comes across and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mine went like that. It was simple. Intro, 8. Verse, 8. Pre-chorus, 8.
Yeah.
Chorus, 8. Middle, 8. I go to the bridge. 8. Last chorus, 16 bars. Outro, 4 bars.
Yeah.
Done. So it's a mixed approach because yes, you have the bars, but you don't have the tempo, you don't have the genre. So it's a bit of audio and it's a bit of visual. And if you use that with the kinesthetic as well, as in like practice it, if you have time, that can be great. So this is, I still use this method now to this day, to be honest, when I'm learning any song. I write down every bar of the song.
Yeah.
And then it's a bit of a memory game to be like, okay, this is how it goes. I use my ears as well, because my ears has always been my strength. When it's just always been my strength.
Okay.
I think growing up in church and in that environment, you have to play every genre known to mankind, right? So being able to do that and then bring that over now into the working world, it's just been great. So those two methods have worked greatly for me.
That makes sense. And you still use that now?
Till this day, because it's interesting actually, because I'm trying to lean more onto the actual notation side, like actually writing out physical bars to be like, okay, this is the actual drum groove, to get my sight reading up a bit more, right? But there's nothing like looking over on a sheet of music and seeing intro 8, where I count off that thing. What I find a little bit more difficult now is actually counting whilst playing. I can
Counting
feel,
whilst playing, okay,
so I can feel a bar of 8.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can feel a bar of 4. I can feel a bar of 16.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can kind of almost switch stuff in a way sometimes. But it's just like if it's a little more intricate, like, oh, this is 3.5 bars, and you gotta, you know what I mean?
You got something going on, yeah.
Some songs are,
Yeah.
they're a little more intricate, and we're talking standard pop songs, you know.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
But some of them are a little more intricate.
I thought you was, because I think I don't do charts that much anymore, but when I do them, I think I do it a similar way to how you do it, but I do notate drum grooves for that reason, because I just feel like sometimes if I have to rely on my charts, I can't just rely that the verse is 8 bars. It's 8 bars, but what am I playing? You know what I mean? So I'll notate the groove, or if exactly how you've said, like something happens halfway through bar 3, I need to know what happens, so then I'll notate if there's any hits.
That's something I didn't mention. So there's kind of maybe 2 to 3 columns when I'm writing this out. So I'll have intro, that would be the first thing. The second thing would be the bars. And then the last thing would be any notes. Okay. So it would say, so now I've gotten to the point with it, because I'm so swift with it, right?
Is it?
See on a gig, innit? But I'll play, so for instance, like if I know if it's silence, I'll just put RE as rest.
Okay.
So obviously you can make up anything that you like. So I'll put RE, rest. So that means I'm not playing anything, right? Pre-chorus, or verse, rest. Or sometimes I put time at the side, because most of the time that I found anyway, when I'm working with a band or in most situations, even when the drums aren't playing anything, you need to keep some sort of time.
Timing, yeah. If you're not on click,
If the rest of the band isn't on click,
yeah.
In my situations.
Yeah.
So, not everybody's on click, so you're starting off the song most of the time. Sometimes the keyboard, if they are willing to do so, if that's just the way they work best.
Yeah.
They'll start the key. They'll start the song, right? So I'll put rest, but then I'll keep time. Same for the verse, and then let's say the pre-chorus is building for like the entire 8 bars. I'll put build. Sometimes I'll put like quarter note build or eighth note build.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't go as far as to put crescendo, because in my mind, if I put build, I know that means like a crescendoing up. Or because I would know the song somewhat, I would know it's okay. It's the full time is build, and then sometimes I'll put a fill. Or let's say we're in a verse and it's you're quiet for the first 2 bars. Yeah, it's like coming out the chorus, doom ga da doom rest 2 3 4 rest 2 doom ga da da, and then you're in. So I'll put, it'll be verse, it will be 8 bars, and then I'll put next to it 2 bars of rest. And I know that's. So there are small notations. Okay. It's not as far as notating out the actual rhythm.
Yeah.
But I'll know, okay. So there's a lot more to it. So especially if it's a song I don't know, or if it's a song that I've had to learn really last moment, because I have a decent catalogue of songs that I've listened to before, I'll be like, oh, this is Hey Mickey drum beat. And that's... Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Or you have like a reference to a song that you do know, and then you'll say, okay, it's that drum beat.
100%.
Got you.
The amount of times I put 4 to the floor, I'll put club, I'll put dance.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, that means something. Motown feel.
You know what you're doing.
Motown build. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That makes sense.
And then just after a while, especially if it's a song that you're doing constantly, it stays in your mind.
Yeah.
Some of the hardest songs I think to remember are the more poppy dance songs, like um, for me, because I don't play them quote unquote enough. So like titanium,
Okay.
because there's so many like different technical. There's a few build-ups in there that's like, all right, cool. You have to remember that. But the more I play, I'm just like, all right, then cool.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
if it's like waiting all night, because that intro is a whole thing, bruh.
I got you.
and we've not even mentioned the fact that when we're playing this live and sometimes we're in the intro, we're looping it for a very long time
Oh, for a while
because
because the singers are coming.
so
in or whatever.
forget your charts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So there's also that side of thing of having the musicality to be like, oh, if something actually changes in the music,
Yeah,
which it
yeah.
will happen in thing. If you're just sticking to your charts, yo,
But
cut.
that goes to like it really depends on what gig you're doing, as well.
There we go.
Which is why I started like not charting everything. Because before I used to chart everything for every gig, but now I'll just listen. I just listen.
Rogue.
Rogue.
I'm gonna start calling you
I did-
Mandalorian, bro.
Bro.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. Nah. But yeah, because like some of the gigs that we do, a lot of them are like very free. So
That's right.
I'll listen to the songs and I think I'm able to kind of remember better that I'm not always charting everything out.
It becomes a
then-
reliance,
Yeah.
which isn't great.
Exactly. But then I feel like, because of that now, two things have happened. Like, one, I think I'm able to be a lot more free with whatever's happening, and more present than like just like
Looking at a chart that's on the left side.
yeah.
Here,
That
you're cricking your neck.
if a singer is off, then now I'm wrong. You know what I mean? So I'm a lot more free and I'm able to like be reactive. But then also as drummers, even if I'm not MD in it, I'm able to kind of push it forward and able to kind of somewhat lead from the kit.
Interesting. Speak more about that.
Just because like depending on the gig.
Oh yeah, 100%. I
And
understand.
a lot of these gigs is probably like a function thing or something like that. But I'm able to kind of lead from the kit because thankfully I have the experience of working with a lot of different people and experience a lot of different things that's happened. So if someone is like a singer misses something and I might be able to understand like what's going to happen next or where they're trying to go, especially if I've worked with them before and some of the other musicians might be like, what's going on? I think I might be able to push it in the right direction or just lead from the kit and be able to like call something that might be spontaneous, but it might just allow the song to flow better. And then we can all like go from there. And I think like I've spoken to a lot of different people about it, and I think a lot of musicians enjoy it better when there's a drummer that can do that. You know what I mean? And
I'm finding that.
yeah, and I think like for me, I think at the moment, my thing is just doing that, regardless of whoever's on the gig, if it calls for it. Because I think sometimes, if I feel like there's a competent MD, or if I feel like the other musicians are, like if I respect them that much, I might not do that in fear of not stepping on anyone's toes. But sometimes in some situations, it might just call for me to do that. So, and I think like sometimes it can just be. It can just make things flow better, or like you may have seen me on gigs and I'll just start a song
Clean.
to start it, just drums, but it allows for there not to be that
Gap.
gap in between. Yeah. But obviously all these things differ depending on
From
the
gig
gig
to
that
gig.
you're doing. Yeah, because if you're doing like an artist gig, for example, then obviously everything is already like
To track
well
sometimes,
rehearsed,
yeah.
and it might be to track and stuff like that. So then it doesn't become like the leadership from the kit doesn't become like I'm leading this song, because everyone knows their parts, everyone knows what they're doing. But I think it then becomes like me as a musician and me drawing from my experience if anything does go wrong, then I might be able to have a quick fix. And I think all of that has like improved since I've started to try my best to like internalize music and not solely read it on a chart. Because if a song is internalized, I'm not just thinking like what happens next. I'm able to be more of a musician, and I'm able to kind of look up and see what's going on and stuff like that. I think it has a bigger impact. But obviously, everyone has their different way of working and different way of flowing.
100%. I think it's very interesting actually you brought up the point of stepping on MD's toes.
Oh, yeah.
And it's funny because there's been a few instances, even very recently to be honest, that when I'm working with MDs, that they just want you and allow you to be you at the same time. And we was talking about this before.
Yeah.
And having the confidence to lead a band from behind the drum kit is what most of the time they're looking for. Because sometimes it depends on who you're working with and the relationship. But for the MDs that I'm working with,
that's what they want from you.
That's what they want from you, because they want you to, they don't always, sometimes I'm finding anyway, they don't always want to have to lead from where they are, because they're like, drums are foundational, it's the timing thing. They just want you to look around, is everybody ready? All right, let's go. And I'm not talking about, I'm just talking about function gigs like this, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay,
So I'm being very specific now. Where, as you said, if it's not, 2-1 hours to track, we're talking about those gigs where it's more of, there's a set list of 6-7 songs, and everybody's looking around to be like, all right, let's start, or you hear a countdown or whatever. All right, let's get in. You count off and you go. You end the song. It's even better when they give you the talk that mic. Woo!
You enjoy it?
I like the talk that mic because it's clear.
Oh,
Nothing is necessarily...
What, when you have it?
When I have the talk that mic... When I have the talk that mic... It's a clear thing of, look, I may not even start the song. I'm like, all right, then cool. If I know two songs are very, very close. And I see, and the reason why I do that is because I'm usually the keyboard is the MD, or whoever's MD usually does that anyway. So why not keep that complete form? And it just fits better when you're with the music, if that's what you're looking for, right? So let's say we're playing. All right, we're going into the next song. Everybody got their patch keys, whatever. Because so.
We met each other in uni still.
We met each other in uni.
Don't even say what I think you're gonna say, bro.
What? There's so many different avenues you can go down with uni, but I think the avenue that I wanted to talk about is so I got a gripe here.
What's the gripe?
So
what's the gripe?
Nathan got higher than me on one of the examinations. It was the track that we had to do for.
Wait, hold on. How do you even know that I got higher than you?
You told me.
I just came up to you and said I got higher than you. I didn't even know what you got.
I told you. No, I think you told me what you got, and I was just like, "Raw, that's definitely higher than mine."
So you must have asked me then.
Of course I did.
You know?
I wish I didn't. At this time, Nathan was on the road touring with Little Comets, so he could only make it back for certain assessments and certain days. I'm out here every single day at uni studying hard, making sure. I'm out here practicing.
It's not true.
In that, small room. I'm talking about 5 hours a day, whiplash style.
Is it?
Whiplash style.
You're lying.
And then you come along breezing in with your tool bag. Little Comets right there, bruh. Protection racket. Man, rolled in tough, man. Yeah. I'm ready for the assessment. What you saying? Comes in. Blah, 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 blah. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Hearing what my man had. So, yeah. Man just turn up, yeah?
Do you remember what you got?
I don't remember.
I don't even remember.
They were very secretive with those grades, but you had to go to some online system and then go
was
through
a
this back
percentage.
door. Yeah.
It was a percentage. I did do well.
I know
I'm
you
not
did
even
well on
gonna
that
lie.
one.
But
you
you know
got,
what?
you got a first at least.
I can't remember. I do remember Neil saying, yeah. I remember Neil saying, like, how good it was. And he was like, I can't give you 100% because that's crazy. I remember him saying that, I can't give you 100% because that's crazy.
He didn't say that to me.
But I can't remember what it was, but he was like, but you did really good. But it's interesting because it was filmed
It was filmed.
and I got it back. You got yours back as well, didn't it?
Yeah, because you could go on the
Yeah,
website
yeah.
online and get
And I
it.
remember listening to it like years after.
Mm-hmm.
Cause, and it's funny because I listened to it back thinking, yo, I killed this. And then when I listened to it, I was like, I was like,
That's gonna happen at every
that
stage
is
of life, though.
crazy.
It's gonna happen. I think that's gonna happen in every stage of life
Probably.
because we technically mature. I think we'll be a little more lenient the older we get because it's like, all right, at least these solid foundation things are here.
Yeah.
But like, I listened back to my because there was that assessment that we had to do. We had to just play to a couple tracks, maybe 1 or 2 tracks or 3 tracks,
Oh yeah. And then talk about it in between.
and then talk about it in between.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Washed. I don't know why it was recorded. I think I recorded it separately.
Yeah.
And recorded it on something. The quality was really bad. I remember my snare being too high, so I missed like the first hits. It was that track for Spanky.
Oh yeah.
Fame. I can't remember what it
I think
was.
I did that in my my college one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I remember. I do remember that one.
Bro, you weren't a drummer if you didn't do that track.
Facts.
Everybody was lashing on it. It was like 5 minutes long. It's a very long track.
But you know what though? In the college one though, so I ain't got no names.
Oh.
But there was another drummer, and they did like a Kaz Rodriguez like a shed track, and was going at it.
Mhm.
But I don't think he had in-ears or anything. So at them times, obviously we just so we just turn it up all the way and then we're just playing, murking out our ears. But he I don't think he could hear properly. So he was doing take after take and he was going out of time every time because he was just chopping the whole thing, thinking that he was going to get a good grade because he can chop.
Yeah.
So he went first, but I already had the mindset of, I'm doing that Spanky track, but I'm just pocketing my way through this, trying to make it feel good type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's done that now. I've gone in and I've done my thing, but I've just, yeah, exactly. So I'm just trying to like pocket my way through it, just catch the hits,
Yeah.
do a few little simple things, and then until like the drum solo part, and then I'll try and kind of experiment a little bit, but still within the realms of what I'm comfortable with. And that was my mentality, and it worked. And then the guy, the examiner or whatever, was happy with that. And I remember coming out, and the guy was vexed. He weren't vexed that I did well, but it was vexed that like he felt like he was kind of done dirty. But I was just like, you tried to do too much. You know what I mean? And I was just like, but sometimes that's the mentality we have. Like we kind of have to show out a little bit more, and we'll start doing things we can't actually do.
There's a lot of different factors that happen. Nerves.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the pressure.
Facts.
Sometimes it's the I need to prove myself. Where really at no stage do you really need to prove yourself.
Yeah, I
you
do
just
get
need
that
to
a
be
lot,
musical. Oh, of course, I was
do
there.
get
What do you mean, bruh? I was before him.
I get that a lot still.
Look, at the end of the day, you're trying to be an employed musician, and what gets people employed versus not employed varies across the board. Mostly, we find that playing. I mean, for the stuff we do anyway, it's pocket. They want. That's gonna be a whole video, bruh. A whole video on pocket versus chops, and I call it a completely different name.
Yeah.
But there are some times that, okay, so what comes after the pocket? You know what I mean? I remember actually, I'll never forget, I had a conversation with, I would say a drum mentor, because he didn't necessarily teach me drums on a weekly basis, but it was a band thing that we had. And he said to me, because I remember I'm not taking the mic, but I was just like, there's a certain drummer that is known for pocket playing. I was probably in year 7, year 8 this time. I was just like, I'm looking for Flash. I want Tony Webster Jr.
Yeah.
I want Thomas Lang. I want Thomas Pridgett. All the Thomases.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want. You know what I mean? And then I'm listening to this other guy that's grooving, and
Yeah.
and he was just like, whoa. Let me teach you a little something here, boy. It was basically like, look, listen. Don't underestimate him, number one. And number two, he's made a whole career by playing
by doing
pocket.
what he's doing. Yeah.
That is not always easy to do. It's not always. I'm saying it's possible and 100%. But what I'm saying is, it's almost like he shows up, he plays the way he wants to play, and it might not necessarily have all the what we see, quote unquote, today. He pays the bills. He went home and he's got his own drumstick.
You know what's funny about that? Yeah, is
talk to me.
Is because I definitely agree with what he's saying, and I feel like people might disagree with this, but I've tried to make it so like that's what I'm known for. Even though on some gigs, you know, it might be
some.
It might be a bit of a different story, but especially when I was younger, yeah, I can't lie. Like I would have done like, and it weren't big things. Like I might have played at someone's church or done like a function gig or something, and genuinely, yeah, older musicians, from what I heard, were saying like I was kind of boring and I wasn't doing enough. And I'm just playing. Like I'm just playing the grooves.
I've never heard anything like that in my life.
Yeah.
Because them older heads.
I know.
If you ain't playing the rhythm.
I know. I was not gonna say no names, but that's literally like, and I just heard it from the people that they told it to. And the people that they told it to obviously just said it to me on like a.
I know one-to-one thing.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like almost kind of like advice, but it was like you did fine, so just take it as whatever.
Fine,
but
you better be singing my praises.
But I found it kind of crazy because I purposely, like, if I'm going somewhere and people have not worked with me before,
yeah,
I'm not just out here just doing stuff. I'm just playing whatever the patterns are for the songs, and then if you ask me to do a little bit more, then I can. But if you don't, then I'm just gonna assume, okay, cool, this is where it needs to be, and this is where I'm at. So then when I was hearing that, I was like, rah. I was kind of confused because I was like, what are people looking for? And I think I had a conversation with someone later on, and it was one like an older musician, and he kind of, the things that he was saying was similar, and this was like, I'll say maybe like 2 years ago, yeah, and it was a similar thing where it was like, he was singing my praises, but in that like, and it was what I want to be known for. To be fair, it was like you like play to the music, and he referenced some other musicians, and it was like, yeah, you play similar to them, etc., etc. So I was like, oh, yeah, that's sick. But then he would reference other drummers around my age, and he'd be like, yeah, but they're killing. but they were known for their chops. And then so I was just like, and it wasn't even a thing where like I was jealous or anything, but it was more a thing of like, but some of the things that they do, like I know that I can do that, but I'm just not known for that, I guess, anymore. So then it got me thinking like, do I need to just do that more, or do I need to put that out to show people that I can do that, or what? Like I was confused. And now that's why I said what I said at the beginning of why the influences or the drummers that I like, they play how they play. Because now I'm just like, I'm gonna play how I play. I'm gonna play how I want to play as well.
It gets to a point where you have to stand on something, and I think the problem is that when we're younger, and I think it's not a problem, it's just the situation that it is.
Yeah.
The situation is you're young, you're going through life, right? And you are around a lot of different people, and especially in those teenage years, you're trying to make people happy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Me, I was trying to make people happy. Yeah, I'm just gonna say for me. So I'm going to play like how you necessarily want me to play. I had a lot in church. I had a lot of license. A lot of license. Thank God for it, because it taught me a lot of different things. I learned stamina.
Yeah. Facts.
Bruh.
Yeah.
I learned stamina. I learned musicality. I learned dynamics.
Factual.
My church was intimate.
Yeah.
My arms weren't coming up here, bro.
Yeah, they weren't.
My arms didn't reach here. You were blessed to see my arms reach here.
When I met you, bro, everything was just here.
Still is.
It's
a little bit more.
Bro,
yeah.
Look at where this ride is. My ride's lower than this.
You know why though? Because I watched a video recently that says it matters the
Recording.
It matter. Yeah, the recordings matter. It matters where your cymbals are.
Oh yeah.
So it says to slow down the cymbal bleed. You raise your crash. Your
because this is high for you.
Oh yeah, 100%.
This is probably where I have it.
That's why they like that. Trying to be like you, fam.
Nah, you're diving there, bro.
But yeah, literally for that reason only, just to slow down cymbal bleed.
Okay.
Let me just put.
This is where you're gonna have it. This is where you're gonna have it when you're playing gigs now, bro. Trust me.
In stadiums, yeah.
Yeah, bro.
You know, it's funny actually. I watched a video with Chris Coleman, and he was basically saying, you know, when he sets up cymbals and stuff, he goes, his cymbals aren't necessarily raging too high, because, you know, he's trying to look out and see. He was joking as well, you know, trying to look at all the girls or whatever. He's joking. I've seen something. But so that's another thing as well. When you're in your teens and you're studying and you're learning how to play drums, there are so many different ways. We could spend the rest of this podcast talking about setting up drums, or how to set up drums.
Yeah, for sure.
My man down the road does it like this. My man down the road does it like this, and my man down the road does it like this.
Yeah.
Eventually, you have to make up your mind to say, you know, what it's gonna be. So you've got all those different factors as a teenager. Let me go back to our original point, right, of pleasing. So you're as a teenager, you're in the mindset of, and you know, it's different now. I think teenagers have certain confidences to be like, nah, I'm just playing how I play.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm seeing anyway. But
that's how I was as a teenager anyway.
That was you, bro, not me. I was playing how I was gonna play.
Yeah.
But I was also like, if there was disgruntledness from the other band members, then I would make that adjustment. Like I remember a gig for those that care, actually, as in like I was at a gig and the MD was just like, we're doing this song, it's literally one song, and I was playing, and we was just practicing the song, and I did a little fill trap thing, and he was just like, nah, bro. None of that. The beat is this. Run it like this.
Swear.
That's what he wanted, right?
Okay.
And he was teaching me there the importance of playing a part, which is very, very important, right?
Yeah.
To somewhat. But then there's different scenarios they could open up and play. So the point that I'm trying to say is that at different stages you have different mindset. Now I'm of the mindset of I'll get better. For me, getting better, what getting better means for me now is playing drums more.
Oh yeah.
There's no other way around it of just playing drums more, and
Okay,
I'm blessed to be in a situation where I have accessibility.
Facts.
Not always. I
You
don't
do.
always have the time
Sure.
because of a life responsibilities, but I have accessibility.
You have accessibility still. Yep.
So I'm able to do that as much as my mind would allow me to do that, right? So I'm in a different headspace now. Mostly people are hiring me to play like me because they've heard what I can do.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, or there's a recommendation, oh, you should get Rob,
Yeah, for sure.
or we should get Rob. So that's kind of where it's at now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I would say.
It's
about
interesting because when I was young, when I was in my teenage years, bro, I was just playing stuff. No one could tell me much, to be fair. I feel like I was kind of mature anyway, but I was definitely just known for chopping when I was.
Really?
I think so, but I think when I started getting into my 20s, I started thinking like, I don't want that. I don't know. I don't want to be known for that. I want to be known for someone that serves the music. So then that's kind of when I kind of tried to change a bit. But I feel like it's just confusing because then people started saying like I'm not playing enough. So it's like,
what do you people want? There's
Exactly.
a meme in it. Tell me what you want.
yeah.
Tell me what you want.
Literally. So now it's just like I feel like I'm mature enough to kind of combine the two, and then just play how I'm gonna play. And obviously, when I say I'm gonna play how I'm gonna play, it's more of a thing where I do what's appropriate at the time, but I'm gonna play like me. You know what I mean?
It's crazy because at the end of the day, this is our profession, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like if you apply some of the things that we do in music and apply it to other areas, it just doesn't make sense.
How do you mean?
Like for instance, like you don't. Let's say somebody is working in a factory. People not thinking, I wonder if he's gonna do it right today or not. Or you know what I mean? You show up, you do the job.
Yeah.
You go home, and I think sometimes we should apply that a little bit more to like, I mean, and of course there's preferences and it's artistic expression and
exactly.
creativity and moods and all of that, that stuff. But we still, I think personally, there's a point where it's just like, I am capable of what I do. I've been able to, earn some money from doing that.
Yeah.
So that's what we should do. We are going to wrap it up.
I got one question to end it.
Oh my goodness, this is another half an hour. Go
No. This is a quick one.
All right, go ahead.
Are they gatekeepers? I'm joking. But do you want to outro it? Do you want to do your intro and then do an outro?
Never stop exploring drums.
Indeed. And thanks, Natal and Zildjian. If you wanna help me, I got a tour coming up.